Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to the elders and to the apostles of Great Millstone, and enough respect to the brothers that are out there pushing and spreading the gospel of Yahweh Bahashem Yahshai to the four corners of the world. Now, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahshai, I just want to do a quick lesson on, two articles, and then, Lord willing, edification goes out. Now, the war that's going on between Russia and Ukraine, to some people, it's old news, and they don't pay attention to it, as they did in the beginning. But, things are taking place in there that, if we are to do our job as watchmen, we're not supposed to just, say it's old news and everybody knows about the war, so we're not just going to go into it anymore. That's not the job of a watchman, okay? And so while, when you watch, there are little things in there that happens that actually are very, it's happening because of prophecy, And, if you want to be spiritual and have your faith boosted, you have to pay attention to these little things that most people ignore. So the first article is entitled, India Pivots Away from Russian Arms, but Will Retain Strong Ties. We're going to get to the point of this article. It says, India is seeking to distance itself from its largest arms supplier after Russia's ability to supply munitions and spares was hobbled, right, by the war in Ukraine, but must step carefully to avoid pushing Moscow closer to China. Indian sources say the world's biggest arm importer is slowly turning west as the United States looks to strengthen ties in the Indo-Pacific region, hoping to contain an ascendant China by weaning the South Asian nation off a traditional dependence on Russia. This article came out in January 28, this year, 2024. And, so somebody who's reading this will be quick to say, the prophecy of Russia destroying America is a fable. On people that are not spiritual, people that are too quick to discredit the Bible, when they see news like this, they want to talk shit, okay? But what does the scripture say? This is Isaiah chapter 46, starting from verse 9. It says, Remember the former things of old, for I am God, and there is none else. I am God, and there is none like me. I declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient time the things that are not yet done, saying, My counsel shall what? It shall stand, and I will do my pleasure. Okay? The scripture talks about it in the book of Habakkuk, that, it will not tarry, okay, but it will accomplish in due time. Okay? It is set for an appointed time. All right? And when that appointed time is established, the words of Yahweh Bahashem Yahshai will be accomplished. All right? The same thing that's written off in, I believe, Isaiah the 55 chapter. Isaiah chapter 55, verse 11. Matter of fact, verse 9 says, For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thought. And no one really knows why the Most High allows events like this, to endure for a short while. It's almost as though the Most High just want to play with people. Sometimes certain things happen. You open an article and things are going in the opposite direction of what you expect from prophecy. But none of that really matters, because it says what? His ways are higher than our ways, and his thoughts are higher than our thoughts. But it says, For as the rain cometh down and the snow from heaven, and turneth not thither, but watereth the earth, and maketh bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. Okay, so knowing that in January, okay, like I said, some people would have been talking shit, but for those of you who held true, right, who were steadfast in prophecy and kept your faith, your trust in the power of Yahweh Bashim Shai, the Most High rewarded that with this article right here. Okay, this is from Weon. Is entitled "Indian Army Receives Fresh Batch of Igla-S Handheld Anti-Aircraft Missiles from Russia." Okay, and the reason was that previously this article talked about how when the war first started, Russia was having difficulties adjusting because of the sanctions that were placed on them. And now that they have adjusted, they are they are amping up their trade in arms. So there is another article. If you search up Russia using glide missiles on Ukraine, basically the article will be talking about how Russia is pretty much, pulverizing Ukraine. I mean, they are just like destroying them over there, because Ukraine, the people that they were looking to support them, to give them, weapons for defenses, are not able to accomplish the things that they promised to them. Because right now you have Congress, they are they're like idle, right, in their support, because all they are doing right now is they're stuck in debate. Okay, and so Ukraine really can't look forward to that. And Russia they've been building these glide missiles, okay, improving upon it, and they've been dropping bombs on them to the point where the Russian defense ministers are actually coming up and saying, "Look, man, they are like wiping us out. They are dropping like 700 bombs, in 1 month alone. They are destroying our positions. The war, the manner in which we fought in the beginning, is like it's useless. Right now, at this particular moment, there is no countermeasures to Russia amping up their attacks on us." And so with them prevailing, like the scripture says, the scripture doesn't talk about Russia being fallen from any nation. They're not going to fall. They are going to be the one that's doing the damage. It's spoken about in Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. Okay? And while I'm getting this, I also want to point out that, this isn't a propaganda for Russia. This is just us bringing out the scriptures. And for those of you out there who don't, if you believe the scripture, we're breaking it down wrong, if you believe that we are false prophet, well, then that's it. You ain't got nothing to worry about, because all we're doing is just reading the scriptures and telling you this is what the scriptures mean. All right? Because, there's a case being built up against the Hebrew Israelite that we are advocating for Russia, and that we are on Russia's side, and that we are, a tool for propaganda on behalf of Russia, which is all false. It's bullshit. Okay, they're all Edomites, and the Most High is going to deal with Edom, as the scripture speaks. So the scripture says that in the last days, what? The scripture says that in the last days, in the latter years, thou shalt come into the... Oh, Salakia. I want to get a specific point. Right. Verse 4 says, "And I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shield, all of them handling swords." So this is the spirit that Yahweh Bashim Shai has put in that nation, Russia. All right, they are the ones that's referred to as Gog and Magog. They live in that region, in that land, And if there's a prophecy about the land of Gog and Magog in the last days, it's going to be them, because we know we're in the last days. Okay. And another one, it says, what thou shalt think an evil thought, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I'll go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gate. Right? So they have this spirit in them to just make war. They're not scared of sanctions. The whole, mindset of, peace is that's not what that's not the spirit that it's far from them. So while scoffers would have been scoffing, with this article, another article came out a few months later, okay, which is when did this? A few days ago. Let me just take it from Reader. Right, April 8th, 2024. So that's yesterday. It says a fresh batch of Russian-made, right, Igla S-Man portable air defense systems. Now it tells you that these Asians, okay, they depend on Russian defense technology. All right, that's why the scripture says right here. Be thou a guard unto them. Right, be thou prepared for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. And the assembly, the people that are assembled unto them, a few of them are mentioned here. All right, Persia, Ethiopia, Libya with them, all of them with shields and helmets, okay, and many people with these. So there are many people that are going to be behind Russia, right? And the Most High is using this moment to exalt them, to, prove to the nations that they are the reliable ones, not Babylon. They're not even reliable, but maybe they are the better choice than Babylon. Maybe. So they're contemplating that right now. But in times, we know based on scriptures that they're going to fully make that decision and side with Russia. All right. So part of Russia being a guard unto them is giving them the capability to defend themselves. There was this man, this activist, this African or Afrocentric activist who, when Kamala Harris went over to West Africa trying to tell them to legalize, the alternative lifestyle, the rainbow movement, he came up and told them, look, man, America, y'all funny coming up here with all this money, for this rainbow movement stuff. You coming over here with $60 million for rainbow movement. Russia's coming over here with missiles and skill sharing in defense and military. So they're telling them, look, man, you Babylonians, we ain't even looking your way, okay? And this is what the scripture says that Gog and Magog will do. He will be a guard unto them. He's giving them the capability to defend themselves, right? He's coming up. They are still, there to provide even in the midst of war, okay? Which is something that Ukraine can't even do. Ukraine can't even get with Babylon and his coalitions and her coalitions. So it says the Indian Army has received, 24, it's called Manpads, which were accompanied by 100 missiles. This delivery is said to be part of a larger procurement deal, which will also include domestic production in India, reportedly under Russian license. Okay, so they also, not only are they giving weapons, but they're also going to give jobs. Okay, they're going to produce it in India. All right. It says the report mentioned that the recent delivery is a larger order as compared to the induction of a very small number, around 24 launchers and 260 missiles of, Igla-S as part of a emergency procurement in 2021. The Igla-S is a handheld anti-aircraft missile which can bolster India's Indian Army's combat capability in various sensitive locations. It can be fired by an individual or a crew in order to bring down an enemy aircraft. The report also mentioned that the rest of these systems will be made in India through transfer of technology from Russia. So yeah, that's pretty much on that. These are the two articles. Like I said, it goes over people's heads, but you know, if you want to be a good watchman of Yahweh Shemi Shai, little things like this, just pay attention to it, especially when it concerns war and trade. Because trade establishes an ally. And when an ally is established, when war, when it's time for war, your allies are going to have to be in it. And this is exactly what happened in World War I and World War II. The beef was really between a few countries, but because of what? Because nations had sworn to be allies of another nation, it dragged everybody into it. And then the nations who had colonies dragged their colonies into it. That's what became a world war. All right, so with that, I'm gonna end it right there. Shalom to the brothers and sisters that are watching in truth and sincerity. Shalom, Yahweh Shema Shah Barakatham. May the blessing of relation be upon our house. May the Most High speedily deliver us from this place. All right, Shalom.